YouTube, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Screens, and today's video, man, is going to be a different video from the type of content that I usually post on this channel. A lot of you guys expect 2K search term / content videos. This is kind of a content video because I'm just talking to you guys, and this is honestly my favorite type of video to make is me just talking over something. And yeah, so before we get into it, please, if you guys are new, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub with those post notifications. If you guys are new, we're closing in on 23K. Maybe at the time of this video, I've already hit 23K. So if it is at that point, thank you guys so much for all this for this love and support in the subs. So let's get right into it. NBA 2K22 is dying. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to describe it. The game just simply is not doing what it's supposed to do. And you're going to be like, oh my god, what is a video game supposed to do? It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable to play. Yes, I agree. And that partially has to do or affects the views of many of your favorite content creators and the growth of those content creators. Basically, what is happening is that a lot of people are slowly less and less caring about the game. They don't really give a shit. If you look at anybody's views right now, they're significantly down. If you look at anybody's sub growth, it's also very, very down. Except for one kid in particular. His name is Boostagod. He's fucking hilarious. I like the kid personally, but I don't know how the fuck he's growing on this shitty ass game. Now, I want to also point out that I've never really been the type of person to follow trends in the 2K community. Like, if there's ever like a hate trend on 2K, I think there was one on 2K21. I'm the type of person to not really listen to that and form my own opinion. I know a lot of people kind of just follow the crowd and do what they want to do. I personally don't do that. However, this time it's different. I share the common opinion that the game is really, really bad and it needs to be fixed ASAP. Like, there's no other way to put it. It needs to be fixed. Basically, the reason that this is an issue is because, first of all, the level 40, way too fucking easy. You can hit it within a day and maybe two. There's double rep on the same weekend that the season comes out. It's really not enjoyable to play after you hit level 40. And for a content creator, if you don't hit level 40 within the first weekend, nobody cares that you hit level 40. So, yeah. Another reason as to why the game is extremely dry right now is because the 2K devs have not given us any events that are actually competitive. They've only given us double rep events, which, yes, are nice, but like I said, it's really not needed because people are hitting level 40 within the first weekend of the game because there is a double rep event out. What needs to happen is that there needs to be the events that are competitive, like Basketball Gods, Formula, things with rewards other than just rep, because in my opinion, they don't need to give us more rep events. It's stupid. As for next gen, I think they already have events. They've already had like a Ruffles. I don't know if they've had a Formula. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they've definitely already had a Ruffles. And now, here's the thing. Those events are heavily boosted, and 2K really doesn't do anything to combat this. Basically, what happens is that people will boost these events, and nothing will happen to them. The worst that will happen is that there will be a 2-week ban. They'll get unbanned with literally everything still on their account. They'll still have the event rewards. They'll still be level 40. If they'll still be the whatever level they are. They'll still be a 99 overall, stuff like that. That's another reason as to why the event scene is kind of dead for the whatever is left of the event scene that is still there. So if you guys are not on Twitter, then you guys probably don't know a lot about like what I'm talking about. So basically, the other day, there was a tweet made by Nadex, as you guys can see. It just says the new COD probably is the worst COD of all time. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, new Call of Duty Vanguard came out. Apparently, he's voicing his opinions on the game, kind of irrelevant to what I'm about to talk about. So this triggers a response from Luck. You guys all know Luck, like 300,000 subs on YouTube, something like that. And he goes, "Capping out of your mind, dog. You must be speaking about 2K." Now, I mean, like I said, I'm not the only person who feels as if 2K is kind of like bad this year. Like, it's kind of dying. It's kind of like ass. I don't know. So Luck's deciding to voice his opinion on this tweet right here. And he receives a response to this by a person named Truly Hunsho. If you guys don't know who he is, I would say he's like probably the face of EU 2K. I don't know much about the EU part of 2K, but I know he gets a logo. I know he has a logo. He gets one, I think, like every year, and I think he's like the face of it. He's also a part of a group called the 2K Next Makers, which is gonna be like brought up back in a second. So he goes, look, Luck, you got this huge fan base behind you who are going to repeat the same exact thing you said about 2K just because you said it. I agree with this. That is a true statement, that a lot of people don't really base their opinions off of other people's opinions. And they do base their opinions off of other people's opinions. They really can't construct their own, especially when it comes to being a content creator. That's been the problem since 2K20 and isn't going to do any favors to the community. Okay. Now, in my opinion, this really, like, this is a really bad tweet. First of all, I understand and I agree that people are going to follow what Luck says, but in my opinion, this is justified. The game is awful. The game is kind of dead. Nobody plays this game. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't been on, and I would say, like, I think I haven't touched this game in, like, a week or so. So, and a lot of people are doing the exact same thing. So, in my opinion, what he's saying is justified if he's saying the game is terrible when it's not. But at this current state in the game, something needs to be said and done. And Luck just goes ballistic. Luck replies to this with, I think, like 4 or 5 of his tweets. Look at this. Luck just goes off. He basically talks about how he speaks his mind and how he knows that he's like affiliated with 2K through the Next Makers program, which, if you guys didn't know, Next Makers is basically just like, I don't know too much about it, but I think it's literally just that a group of like content creators or people are like kind of closer to 2K than other content creators and members of the community. I don't really know, but I think that's what it is. And basically Luck says that he really doesn't care about what he has to say and that he's going to say what he wants to say, which in my opinion is true. Like, if Luck feels as if the game is trash and a lot of the community thinks it's trash, somebody should speak up. Then he brings up this chart, which I've seen this chart before. I'm going to show it right here. If you guys don't know what this is, it's basically the search term of NBA 2K. So literally all it does is it keeps track of how much the words or the term NBA 2K searched up over time. Now, if you look closely, you see that right here, this is basically like quarantine. This is quarantine 2K20. So you see here that there's a massive spike. This is like 2K18 over here. So there's a pretty big spike over here and kind of drops all the way down. There's like the lowest point right here, and it's just below the 25. Now, if you guys didn't know, 2K18 is considered one of the worst and most dead 2Ks of all time. Like, the game sucked. The game was awful. Nobody really liked it. This is modern day. So this little line over here is 2K22. If you look closely, this is a lot lower than this. And that is a really, really bad sign, because that literally means that 2K22 is being searched up less than the most dead 2K of all time. So Luck brings this back up because I've seen this before, like I said, and he basically just talks about how this is his job and how he does this to support his family and doesn't really do this just to be be friends with 2K, which I agree. I think this is a really good. I don't disagree with anything that Luck has said this entire time. And he goes, "Don't know why you even came under my reply, trying to tell me what to not do or do." Basically, he's just saying that he doesn't really care about who he is and that he's going to tweet whatever the fuck he wants, which, again, I agree with. And, again, he's kind of disproving it because a lot of people, especially during 2K20, were really, really happy and, like, supportive of 2K20, especially during when, like, quarantine was out. So, this is something, like I said, I don't disagree with anything that 2K says. Or, no, I'm sorry, with 2K. With anything that Luck says, because, like I said, I'm on the popular opinion side where the game needs to be changed, it needs to be fixed ASAP. So, basically what happened is that this was kind of like the beginning of a all-out, like, war between fucking... There was a lot of DF members, there was a lot of content creators, there was a lot of 2K devs. And I don't have stuff from, like, a little space that happened, but I will talk about it later on in the video. But basically what happened was that essentially set off, I want to find the tweet here. And it's basically of Mitchell Incrot, and if you don't know who he is, he's basically the he's the marketing director for 2K. It says in his bio, it says, like, creator marketing. So what happened here was that there's this tweet right here, right? And it says, Sony reveals the top 10 most played games on PS5 in its first year. gamers played more than 4.6 billion hours of games on PS5 with Fortnite, Call of Duty, FIFA, 2K, and Assassin's Creed. So basically, the only issue with this entire tweet right here is that this is only for the next gen console. In my personal opinion, I can't name more than 10 games on the next gen consoles already. I know there's Madden, I know there's 2K, I know there's MLB The Show, and there's obviously the Call of Duties and the Fortnites. But I mean, I really can't name notable names that are a part of next gen so far. So I think that that's a huge flaw with his argument, and I think Mitch uses that. And he goes, "Don't believe everything you see on Twitter. Negativity is a powerful and evocative emotion, and it drives engagement. NBA 2K holds 2 spots in the top 5 most played PS5 games in the last year." So Mitch basically claps back to the whole graph thing of the NBA 2K search term, where it's the lowest it's ever been, and basically uses this as a rebuttal, which means like that's like his comeback, and says that, oh, like, how is that the case when 2K21 and 2K22 are a part of the top 10 most played games? You know what I mean? So I can kind of see where he's coming from. I do think there's a few flaws with this because, I mean, like I said, I physically cannot name 10 games on next gen. I may not be like a huge gamer. Maybe a lot of you guys can name 10 games, but I physically cannot. I can name 2K. I can name a couple of these here: the Fortnite, COD, FIFA, 2K. I didn't even know Assassin's Creed was a thing on next gen. Destiny 2, again, I didn't know it was on next gen. MLB The Show, obviously. 2K22, I knew it was on. So this essentially set off a tweet from Luck again. Of course, it has to be Luck, and it basically just tweets out and says, "Funny how 2K is active to talk trash to the community when it comes to fixing the progression, snipers, sliding, etc. They ghost us. When it's a chart of active games, they try to argue. The game is dead. New people may be joining, but the new people won't replace old people. Clown emoji 100. So basically, what Luck is trying to say here is that instead of like trying to communicate with us, which in my opinion is a huge issue that 2K has had for the last couple of years, is that the communication between the player base and the developers is simply not there. I think we used to have a community manager in LD. He doesn't do it anymore. I think he just does 2K TV. But we really don't have a connection from 2K to us where we can just kind of talk to them about the problems with the game, about what we want in the game, because I'm sure that a lot of people have the same ideas to better the game, and we would obviously, as a community, love to see these like taken into effect, taken into action. Would we like to see more competitive events? Sure. More reason to play, more rewards, maybe a longer season, not longer seasons, but you know what I mean, like longer play times. Like there's actually a reason to grind for level 40. You don't have to hit it in 2 days. It's something like that. So Mitchell obviously sees this. I don't know if he was tagged in this because he wasn't tagged in the original, but Mitchell replies to this and says, "Bro, it's actual data from the first party saying a ton of people are actively playing the game. The community is beyond just Twitter or social media for that matter." I didn't read the rest of it. I'm not going to read the rest of it just because, but I don't like the way that he says the first part. It's actual data from the first party saying a ton of people are actively playing the game. Not necessarily. I don't see how that chart or that list makes it so that people are actively playing the game. I think that kind of just means that there's a lot of people who have a next-gen console that play the game. However, there's no, like I said, there's no next-gen games. That's like, there's a player, I would say for example, there's a player base of like 100,000 people and they have 10 games in total. Obviously, your game is going to be on that top 10 list. You know what I mean? So I don't see how that data kind of like, that list shows that there's a ton of people playing the game. Because if that were the case, then there would be a lot of people searching the game. And there can't be the worst decline in 2K history when it comes to search terms, but there's a ton of people playing the game, because those two just simply don't match up. And then what goes on, kind of an argument here with Mitch about talking about how Luck got unfollowed. And then Mitch kind of talks about why he unfollowed him. It was because Mitch says that he targeted Huncho, and then he was saying that it was an action-reaction sort of thing where it wasn't just him being disrespectful, it was just treating him how he was being treated. Obviously, everybody knows the expression, treat people how you want to be treated. Luck felt as if he was, like, talking back with the same amount of respect. And, yeah, so apparently, yeah, so they go here. You guys can pause this if you want to read it. They basically just talk about the whole Next Makers program. And now, something that I was really, really interested in was, I'm pretty sure grinding gets into the mix here. And I'm going to try to find it right here. Yeah, so I found it. So it was a reply to this tweet and says, I was respectful, just as respectful of what you guys have showed us bigger creators. Imagine being part of the biggest group in the community and none of them get logos. We got creators with mills not getting logos outside of DF, and you talking to me about respect. Come on, dog. So basically, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, the most recent logo show did not have anybody who was in DF, and it also did not have the people that are in like AMP, like Duke Dennis, Agent Davis, I don't think got one, and a whole bunch of them. So basically, Luck is bringing up the issues of, you know, like, why are people putting on for your game on a YouTube perspective, and there's just no, like, recognition. And so Mitch replies to that, and his reply was kind of interesting, and it just says, Luck, there were logo shows last year where we gave multiple members of DF a logo, and guess what? We caught shit for it. I've shown DF nothing but respect the entire time I've been at 2K. That's undeniable. I agree with the last part. I think Mitch has done. Like, I mean, obviously, Mitch or 2K has given 2K logos in the past. I don't know how much of it is on him. I can't confirm or deny that it's like he's shown a lot of love. But I mean, obviously, DF has gotten logos in the past. And the one thing that I didn't like about this entire reply was the hate. It's like, oh, guess what? We caught shit for it. Now, here's the thing. I don't know how you could possibly get respectable shit from forgiving people with like grinding and power who have 700,000 plus subscribers and people who have millions of subscribers outside of DF a logo. I don't know, like, if you could even argue that it's catching shit. Like, oh, I understand the argument of like, oh, people at 2K favor DF, but I really don't see how that's reasonable, because DF has people who have like 300,000 subscribers, 700,000, 500,000, 400,000, and so on and so forth. So what's the problem with giving those people recognition? You know what I mean? Like, that's not really a sign of disrespect. I don't think that's favoring them. I think that's just showing, you know, like, giving credit where credit is due sort of thing. And so Grinding replies to this and goes, can you clarify on what hate you received for giving people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers logos? I'd assume the whole point of logos is to reward people for building communities on the game, right? This is basically exactly what I just said. So, yeah. It was more people saying we favor DF and we should be giving smaller creators a chance. We're making efforts to appease a large and small content creators, which was a key piece of feedback we received after doing the first year of the show. I agree. I mean, I don't, like, care what they do with the logos personally. I just kind of think that it's really... I don't like how they basically justified saying that, oh, we're going to give bigger and smaller creators, and then they just leave out DF entirely. I don't think that's right. I really don't. I just think that it's like, yeah, you can show love to the small content creators as long as you give love to the large content creators as well. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say that you want to give it to large and small content creators when you have people with 700,000, 500,000, 600,000, a million plus subs, and you don't acknowledge them on the very first one. You know, like, who, honestly, like, people, basically, the value of a logo is supposed to be a sign of recognition, in my opinion. I think it's basically 2K recognizing and acknowledging you and being, okay, this person is being an influence on the community. They're basically keeping the game alive with content, because this is for every game. This isn't just for 2K. That the game essentially dies without content creators, and that's for every game. It's Call of Duty, Fortnite, everything. So I think that they should, like I said, I don't care about the idea of showing large and small content creators love. I like that. I think that they should do both, though, but I don't understand why the larger ones don't receive their recognition first. You know what I mean? Like, why are you giving, like, I don't want to disrespect anybody, but why are we giving content creators with 1,000 subs a logo, but people with 700,000 subs who are actively promoting the game and are bringing in more new members of 2K's community, not just their own personal one, like on average, obviously, compared to some kid who has 1,000, why do they not get a logo? That's the one thing I don't understand with the whole logo process. I really don't care too much about logos. Luck responds to this and basically says that, so the logo is like a participation trophy. You shouldn't let random hate comments make your decisions for you. And Mitch replies to saying it's not a participation trophy. It's recognizing creators who may be smaller that create great content too. Here's the thing. Yeah, and this is exactly like I just said here with Luck. Like I said, giving smaller content creators a chance or a logo should not take away from the big content creators. I think that the perfect solution to this is just giving them both the logo. Like, why is that such... Well, I don't understand why that's a concept. Why do like, if you give small content creators a logo, why does that mean that big content creators can't get a logo? That's the one thing that just kind of doesn't make sense. I don't know. The logo thing to me has been kind of weird this entire time. I didn't really know how to feel about it. In 19, I thought it was only people who kind of, like, were the big people. Like, I always remembered that, like, people like Power, Grinding, and 19 had it. I think Statistics had one because he was a Twitch streamer. They had, like, the ones that are just like, oh, like, you had a YouTube logo, you had a Twitch logo, stuff like that. 20 came out, and they kind of stayed with the bigger content creators, and they also started implementing the smaller ones too, which I liked personally. I liked 20, and then in 21, it seemed as if they kind of, you know, helped the more so smaller content creator community compared to the other ones. And then Hank, I thought this was really funny. Hank talks about how I'm still blocked by Ronnie after a year for just simply suggesting that Double H and Solo deserved logos. That was all. And then he shows a picture of him being blocked by Ronnie. I think that was, I thought that was pretty funny just because, I don't know, I mean, obviously Hank could be, like, lying when it comes to, like, just simply suggesting. Who knows if he just simply suggested that Double H and Solo deserve logos compared to just, like, he just said that, like, Ronnie was an idiot, which, you know, could have possibly happened. But, you know, with all of this being said, I really don't know my whole take on the logo thing. I don't, like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing for small content creators to get a logo. I just don't think that they should take away logos from the bigger creators as well. Now, in terms of just the game being dead, I don't think it's right on 2K's end to kind of respond to, like, make the game seem like it's alive when it's not, if that makes sense. 2K is basically kind of evaded every single bit of responsibility that they could have by just making excuses and saying, oh, well, you know, the top 10 games the top 10 games on PS5 has 2 2Ks on it. That must mean the game is alive. No, not necessarily, because if that were the case, people would be growing at a rapid pace because people would also be watching the game if that means that they're the most played games, which is why, like I said, the whole PS5 top 10 list is kind of flawed because, like I said, again, can't name 10 next-gen games. I just physically can't do it. There's also the exclusives, so even if I think of a game on Xbox, it may not be on PS5. And yeah, so I kind of think that in my opinion, this is like a stupid argument. I just think that 2K needs to listen to the community more, which, I mean, I've been saying this since like 2K21 current gen. I like 2K. I love 2K. I don't want to like bring harm to the game. I just want to see a better overall product when the game as a whole is projected to die the second that someone hits Legend. Like I said, or I think I mentioned before, the game is relevant for 2 days out of the 9, or per season. That means that if there's 9 seasons, which I think there's only 9, you're going to have a total of 18 relevant days during the seasons where the game is actually playable and people relatively care about it. I don't think this should be the case, but I'll let you guys decide down in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think. The state of 2K, I don't really know. Also, comment down below. First of all, if you made it this far in the video, comment down below. And just comment 21, because that's the minute mark we're at right now in this voiceover recording that I'm doing. So I need you guys to comment down below 21. And let me know what you guys want me to see, or want to see on my channel, because 2K, for me, kind of dry. I'll still play 2K if you guys want me to, but just let me know what you guys want to see from me. Like, comment, subscribe with those post notifications if you guys are new. It's been your boy Screens, and I'm out. Peace.